So, how's it going? How are you feeling less than 2 weeks out from the NFL draft?
Everything going good. Honestly, just blessed to be in this position. You know what I'm saying? It's always been a dream of mine to play in the NFL. So just been trying not to put too much pressure on myself or make anything more stressful than it has to be. So I just been enjoying the process.
hmm And yeah, you just had the Senior Bowl, the Combine, Pro Days. Have you kind of, taken a moment to kind of, take everything in?
Definitely. One of the best moments was going to the combine. Always something I always watched on TV growing up, just wondering, will you ever be good enough to get to the combine? When you go there, are you going to kill it? And so I'm glad I did pretty good at the combine. And that was one of my favorite parts of this process. It was definitely an enjoyable experience just being around some other elite prospects and, some of my old friends from different schools and things of that nature.
Okay. And I know you've been thinking about it, and I'm sure you won't know until it happens, but just how great is it going to feel once you get that out of state area code call and from the team that's going to draft you?
It's going to be an amazing feeling for me and as well as my family. Just knowing that all the hard work I put in over the years finally paid off, and it's just the beginning of a new journey. But I've got to where I wanted to be, and that's to play in the NFL. So it'll be amazing.
hmm And you transferred from Missouri to LSU after your freshman year in 2022. Can you kind of just explain what made you chose to transfer?
Yeah, just it was a lot of coaching turnover at the University of Missouri, and my high school head coach ended up getting a cornerback job at LSU, so that played a great part of me deciding to come to LSU. And I think it was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. Coming down here, practicing against other NFL guys, the intensity in practice and just the expectations definitely pushed me and made me, rise my playing to the level, that I was surrounded by. Just it pushed me to be a better player.
hmm Were there any other schools you considered when you before you made your decision to transfer to LSU?
Yeah, it ended up coming down between Oklahoma, USC, and LSU.
Okay. And was it tough to make the decision to transfer out of your home state?
The tougher decision was leaving my friends. Some of my best friends still go to the University of Missouri, so that was one of the tougher decisions. But it was never hard for me to leave my state. I always wanted to branch out and go far and experience other things anyway.
Right, right. Okay. And when did you first start playing football and has football always been your number one passion growing up?
Started playing football at the age of 7 years old, and it's definitely always been my number one passion ever since I started. I played other sports, football, basketball, baseball, but I always knew that football was the one I wanted to go far with.
Okay. And when did you kind of realize, oh, I'm good enough to, maybe play collegiately and, earn a scholarship? Was that kind of, junior year, senior year, or was that, early days like middle school?
And that was about my sophomore year of high school when I realized, okay, what I'm saying? Like I got some elite traits that can translate over to the next level. And what I'm saying? Dominating the guys in high school. So, I think I might have a chance at the next level.
Okay. And hey, you showed those skills your freshman year when you got a pick six against North Texas. Is that one of your favorite plays you've ever made?
Honestly, I forget about that often. Like that was a long time ago, man. But that was definitely an exciting feeling just to get in that end zone. It was fun, just the team celebrating, just celebrating with my teammates. It was definitely a fun experience.
Okay. And this past season, you had 4.5 sacks. You were named a third team All American. 2022, you were second team All SEC. Just talk about how you were able to have the success that you had at your time at LSU this past 2 seasons.
Honestly, had some great coaches. When I first came here, Jamar Kane, he was here as the D line coach, and the assistant D line coach was Pat Hill. Both of those guys are in the NFL now. One on the Broncos, one on the Vikings. I feel like them believing in me, they really they really pushed me to become something greater than I even thought I could be. Just this instilling in me some great traits and things of that nature. They really pushed me to bring my game to the next level. And being down at LSU, where the practice environment, it's NFL guys on the other side of the ball, so you can't take a playoff. Like just that environment of being down at LSU pushed me to be a great player.
Okay. And speaking of, playing with NFL players, you had two teammates on the opposite side of the ball, Jayden Daniels, Malik Neighbors. They're projected to go in the top 10. Just how excited are you to see them, called early on draft night?
I'm very excited to watch those guys go, man. I've seen the work that they put in. in the indoor by themselves late nights. I've seen the work that they put in, so I'm glad that it's paying off, man. They had dreams just like mine, and I'm glad that they've reached that goal.
Mm-hmm. You wore number 18 at LSU, which, is a special tradition there, and often seen as a guy that represents the heart and soul of the team. Just how special was it to grace the number 18 at LSU, especially after transferring there?
Yeah, so I was the first transfer to wear the number 18. It meant everything to me to get that number. I made it the goal of mine, watching a guy like BJ Ojulari from the previous year, how he represented the number, how he carried himself on and off the field. That was a guy that I looked up to. So I was very excited that my teammates and coaches felt that I was worthy enough to wear the number. And, I'm glad to be in history forever at LSU.
Mm-hmm. Who are some NFL guys you kind of model your game after, or you like to watch a lot of film on to try to replicate?
I like watching a guy like Justin Matabuke, shorter, a shorter guy that can play inside on the run, but also kick outside on the pass and rush from a five take. I like watching a shorter guy like Kalijah Cansey, Grady Jarrett, just seeing if I can take some of those tools from those guys and translate them to my game.
Okay. Who would you say was the toughest offensive lineman you went up against this past season?
I wouldn't really know a toughest offensive lineman, but I would say as a unit, I think University of Missouri, they had a really good scheme. The way they run the stretch outside zone, you got to be very disciplined playing against them. So I think they worked very well together as a unit. And their right tackle, Armand Memble, he's really good.
Okay. What are some of your goals that you have for your rookie season?
Man, my rookie season, I just want to come in, contribute to the team in any way that I can and just be a sponge. Just learn from all the vets in the room and just see how I can take what worked for them and translate it to my game and eventually become a dominant player in the NFL.
Okay. And you participated in the Senior Bowl, right?
No, I didn't participate in the
Oh, you
Senior
didn't.
Bowl.
Okay. Just outside of football, just what are some other things you really enjoy, you're passionate about that, fans may not know about you?
For the most part, I'll be chilling, man. I like to just play spades with the family. I like playing cards a lot. So in my downtime, I'm doing that. I'm not really into video games or anything like that anymore. I just like watching TV and chilling.
Okay. And just with it being 2 weeks away from the NFL draft, how grateful are you to be in the position that you're in, as you're soon about to become an NFL player?
Very grateful, man. I don't take it for granted. I think about it every single day. How grateful I am and how appreciative I am to even be here. There's a million players all over the world that wish they was in my position. So I'm gonna just be grateful, wherever I end up in the draft, and just ready to get to a team and dominate.
Mm-hmm. My last question is, there's 32 starting NFL quarterbacks. You get who's the number one quarterback you'd like to sack?
I want Jayden Daniels.
A former teammate.
would you Jayden Daniels.
If you get an opportunity to sack him this season, are you gonna go? Are you gonna take him down lightly or no? No.
Nah, he gonna get it.
Tough love.
I ain't taking him down lightly. Nah.
All right. Awesome. Good stuff. All right, Tony.
I got a couple questions for you, Mehki. Now you missed the last season of the season, the last month and a half of the season with an injury, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that was what was it like a hernia core sports injury?
Yep, core muscle. Had a core muscle surgery. Core muscle.
Okay, but you came back and played in the bowl game against Wisconsin, where most guys in your situation would decide they were going to enter the draft would have just packed it in. Was that a long thought process, or just go through that process that after you're coming back from an injury like that, you choose to come back and you were productive in that game? You had 2 sacks and 2 tackles for loss.
Yes, sir. So I always plan to come back. My plan was never to have the surgery and shut it down for the season. We had the number one offense in the nation. I'm thinking we're going to go to the playoff, SEC championship, whatever. I'm rehabbing, you know what I'm saying? I'm motivating guys. I'm trying to help the team be the best we can while I'm down. But it was always my goal to come back and play. And with me representing the number 18, being looked at as this leader, I didn't feel like I got my full 18 season with the way that the injury occurred. So it was definitely a big goal of mine to get back in that 18 and at least play one more game and just try to make my impact on the team and help us win a game.
Which you did. What was it like the season playing with an eventual or the guy who would eventually win the Heisman Trophy? Was it different compared to prior years?
Definitely, man. He was a great leader. And he just did some stuff in practice that you couldn't stop him. You can't even get mad. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. So you just tip your hat to him and try to do it again the next play.
When you were on the sideline, did you notice anything different? Not about the teammates or just the amount of exposure and the now. I mean, obviously, LSU football is big time. I've been there to scout games live, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But was it even crazier as Jayden Daniels was making his Heisman Trophy candidacy and run, especially that last month?
Definitely, he had a lot of scouts in and out the building. Like I always say, he brought the wolves out for sure. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of big time people coming around here to watch games and all type of stuff. He definitely got some great exposure for the team. Having a guy like him, Malik, Brian Thomas, those first round picks, like everybody wants to come see, but when they come in the building, they're evaluating everybody. So I appreciate those guys for sure.
You went to the combine. You had a terrific combine. Participated in your pro day. You look good moving around. I mean, very fluid. Have you been on a lot of official 30 visits?
No, I actually only had one official 30 visit, and that was with the Raiders.
Have you done a bunch of Zoom calls?
Yeah, I've had a ton of Zoom calls.
That's because most of the combine guys, I mean, you're going to obviously a three technique, one gap type of defensive tackle. You kick to the outside. So those Zoom calls have been replacing the official 30 visits. Did you have a favorite football team? I mean, you're from Missouri. Did you have a favorite football team growing up?
I was a Rams fan. I'm still a Rams fan. Big Aaron Donald fan. Like, I'm a big Rams fan.
Well, obviously, the departure of Aaron Donald leaves a hole in the center of that defensive line there, and the way they play it, I mean, you'd be a good fit somewhere. Where are you going to be on draft weekend?
I'll be in Orlando with my family.
Good. All right.
Yes, sir.
That's it from me. Mehki, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck moving forward. You're an enjoyable player to watch, and you've had a great run up and combine and pro day and everything lead up to the draft. I hope you hear your name called early.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
One last question I got for you. I apologize. We talk about all the talent on the offensive side of the LSU football. There was a lot of talent on that defensive line. I mean, besides yourself, there's going to be two other guys that are going to be drafted,
Right.
Probably in the middle rounds. I mean, was there competition up there? Was it tough to stay within the assignment because you want to make a play? You want to stand out compared to the other guys on that defensive line?
No, I wouldn't say it was anything competitive like that. Like, we pushed each other in practice, but it was never, oh, I got to make this play before Mason make this play, or oh, I got to make it before Jordan. We all tried our best to just, do our 1 of 11. And we didn't have a success on defense that we felt that we should have had, or we thought that we would have had. But it was never anything like that. Like, oh, we got to hurry up, make this play, or just doing our own thing, trying to make a play. That was never a part of anything.
Got it. That's it for me, Mehki. Listen, good luck moving forward, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate y'all.
Good luck. Thanks for talking to us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. All right.
Take care.